everyone, and happy Friday. My name is Soumya Srivastava, and I'm a structures engineer here at SpaceX. I'll be your host for today's Starlink mission, which marks SpaceX's 20th launch of the year and 219th overall mission to date. On your screen is a live view of our Falcon 9 rocket at Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral, Florida. Currently, weather is green, and the range is ready to support a T0 of 11:43 a.m. Eastern Time. The teams are currently tracking no issues with the vehicle or spacecraft. In a little bit, we should see the strongback clamp arms opening up and pulling away from the vehicle.
Strongback lower has begun.
There we have a great view of the strongback clamp arms. And in a few seconds, we should see those clamp arms beneath the fairing open up, and then the strongback should begin to retract away from the rocket. You can see those pulling away. The strongback is also called the transporter erector, or TE, which is how we break over the vehicle from horizontal to vertical, and how we route propellant to the vehicle before liftoff. You can see those clamp arms are now fully opened, and the strongback will shortly begin to pull away from the rocket.
Stage 2 lock load complete.
And we have good confirmation there that the second stage is now full of locks, which means that Falcon 9 is now fully loaded with 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen. You can see that the booster is covered in a good amount of soot, and that's because it has 9 flights under its belt, having previously taken multiple trips to the ISS with 2 CRS missions, 2 crew missions, in addition to supporting the Turksat 5B, Eutelsat HOTBIRD 13G, mPOWER-a, and 2 back-to-back Starlink missions. After liftoff and stage separation, the booster is scheduled to land on our drone ship, a shortfall of Gravitas, which is currently located off the Florida coast in the Atlantic Ocean.
Falcon isn't startup.
We just heard that the flight computers have taken over the countdown and the rocket is now on internal power. In a few seconds, we should hear confirmation from the launch director.
LD, go for launch.
As you just heard, the launch director has given the final go to proceed for launch. Let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 takes our 56 Starlink satellites into space.
T-minus 30 seconds. Seconds. Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Engines full power and liftoff of Starlink. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
At T plus 30 seconds, F9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 from the Cape at 11:43 a.m. Eastern Time.
MOD tier pressures are nominal.
Nominal power and telemetry. Falcon 9 is supersonic.
You just heard the call out that Falcon 9 is supersonic, which means the vehicle is traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Max Q.
And there you just heard the call out for Max Q, which is the point at which the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of external stress as it ascends through the Earth's atmosphere. We're now about 1 minute away from a series of events: MECO, stage sep, SES-1, and fairing separation. MECO, or main engine cutoff, is when all 9 of the Merlin engines on the first stage shut down. Stage separation is when the first and second stages separate from one another. SES-1, or second engine start 1, is where we light the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. And fairing separation is when the 2 fairing halves separate and fall away from the second stage. Keep an eye out for these events happening in quick succession.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there we just heard and saw those 2 fairing halves separating and falling away from the second stage. Both of the fairing halves that flew on today's mission are flight proven, with one half flying for the 6th time and the other its 7th. We'll be attempting to recover both fairing halves using our recovery vessel, Doug.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
There's a call out for Stage 1 entry burn. Stage 1, which we also call the booster, has relit 3 of its engines.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Engines 1, 5, and 9 to slow it down for atmospheric re-entry.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Expected loss of signal Cape.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Falcon 9 has successfully landed, marking the 10th successful landing for this booster, and we're now awaiting second engine cutoff coming up in a few seconds.
Expected loss of signal Bermuda.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And if you heard those callouts, we had successful SECO and nominal orbital insertion. So with confirmation of successful first stage landing and second engine cutoff, that's going to wrap up our coverage for today. Today's landing marks our 181st overall landing of an orbital class rocket, including Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy missions, and our 219th overall mission to date. Be sure to check out our social media pages for confirmation of Starlink satellite deployment. And thank you all for watching, and we hope you have a great weekend.